I think we can all agree that the Miami Dolphins were extremely disappointing this season. I mean, I don't want to say everyone expected them to win the Super Bowl or anything like that, but that should have been a playoff team, but obviously that was not the case. So today, I'm going to be giving myself 4 seasons to rebuild the Miami Dolphins, and the goal is to win them a Super Bowl. But as you can see by looking at the offense right now, I mean, Tua does have a lot of weapons to work with, but that O-line is pretty terrible. And it's pretty much the same story with the defense. I mean, we do have some pretty solid pieces, but there's a lot we could improve on. I mean, if we want this team to actually make the playoffs, I feel like we definitely need to get off to a hot start to the season. And it looks like we're going to be taking on Jacksonville in week 1. And it looks like Jacksonville ended up scoring on their first drive of the game, but we held them to a field goal. So if we can get in for a touchdown here, that will give us the lead. That should be a pretty solid gain right there. So Achan's going to have the first down for us. I'm going to switch it up a little bit here though. If Tyreek Hill can get away, I feel like that's going to go for a pretty big gain. Oh, dude, I could have gone for Waddle. But since Tua's a lefty, I wasn't in position to throw the ball there. So that's going to be a 12-yard loss, which definitely sets us back a little bit. That should help a bit, but it's still not a lot. So we're going to need to get 12 yards if we want to stay on the field. I'm just going to try and go for Tyreek Hill on a slant, and hopefully he can get some separation. That's going to be close, but we're down again. I mean, this O-line is starting to make me realize why the Dolphins had such a bad season. I mean, they have been terrible throughout this whole game, and it is 10-0 in the fourth quarter right now. I mean, if we don't put any points on the board soon, we're going to get shut out. I mean, I don't even know if coming back is an option at this point. We do have all 3 timeouts, which is nice, but I'm going to have to start burning them soon. So, hold on. That might be a big play right there. If we can get it, it looks like Waddle's going to have it. And it's going to go for a touchdown, so we're not done yet. I feel like we have to go for an onside kick or something, though, if we want to have a chance to get the ball back. So this is pretty much the game right here. I'm not going to lie, I really don't think we're going to be able to come down with this, but hopefully we can get a lucky bounce. That was terrible, though. That's going to go right to him, so that is going to end the game. I mean, at least we didn't get blown out or anything, but that was honestly a pretty disappointing performance from our offense. And honestly, if the O-line keeps playing like that, I feel like it's going to be a pretty long season for Miami. And it looks like the Dolphins are going to finish the season with an 8-9 record, which is not enough to make the playoffs, but it honestly could have been a lot worse. I mean, I don't want to say that I'm happy with that record, but considering we were only 1 game below 500, does make me feel like we're only a few pieces away from being a solid contender again. But anyways, to end off year number 1, it looks like Josh Allen's going to be winning MVP. And in the Super Bowl, it looks like the Steelers actually ended up beating the Eagles. But that's gonna bring us to the first off season of the video, and we had like no money to work with, so I couldn't do anything in free agency, but as you can see, we did have a pretty solid draft. I mean, we got Abdul Carter in the first round, who's going to be an 81 overall to start things off. And we also got Travion Henderson in the second round, and he's going to be a 77 overall, so he should be pretty solid as well. Bainham is another interesting player. I mean, he's a 5th round pick, so it's nothing too crazy, but he is still a 71 overall to start off, so he has potential. And even though the roster didn't change a whole lot, we actually did a lot better in year number 2, because Miami's going to go 11-6, which is enough to win the division. It looks like Baltimore is going to go 16-1 though, so that is kind of alarming to see. And to start off the postseason, we have to play the Buffalo Bills. And even though we have home team advantage, I feel like Buffalo's favored to win this game, but it looks like we're in position to pull off the upset right now because we're up by 10 points. I mean, it seems like Allen usually owns the Miami Dolphins, but that has not been the case today. I mean, if we can score another touchdown here, that could put things out of reach. I mean, it is Josh Allen that we're talking about, and it is still very early in this game, so I don't want to say that yet, but it would be a 3-score lead for us, and that would definitely not be easy for Josh Allen to come back from. That's going to be a sack. We did not do anything to the O-line in the offseason, obviously, so I kind of forgot how terrible they are. I don't really know how Tua has done so well this season with a garbage O-line, but it looks like Hill's gonna get the first down. I mean, we don't really have a whole lot of time to get rid of the ball with these guys, so I just gotta run quick plays where I can get the ball off fast or go for runs. I'm gonna keep it on the ground with Achan. We actually did get some really good blocks there, so I might have to hold back on the O-line a little bit, but I'm gonna try and go for Waddle. If he can get away, that should be... Oh, never mind, we're gonna get caught. I thought he was gonna pick up the first, but obviously he was just short there, and Buffalo did bring up up a third down after that, but it looks like we've got the first. So Achan's gonna bring it all the way to the 1-yard line. So I feel like one more solid play should be enough to punch this in, and it looks like we've got it with Achan. I mean, that's gonna make it a 3-score game. So Josh Allen has one hell of a comeback on his hands right now if he wants to win this thing, and they were not able to pull off the comeback. So it looks like we're gonna win a playoff game only in the second season of this rebuild, and it was against the Bills, which I really wasn't expecting. But anyways, that's gonna send us to the divisional round, and it looks like we have to play the Jacksonville Jaguars. But it looks like this game definitely has not played out like the game against Buffalo, because we are down by 2 scores right now, and Jacksonville is once again threatening to score here. So I really need this defense to get a stop, or we are gonna have a serious problem. I mean, if we go down by 3 scores at this point, I don't think we're gonna be able to pull off the comeback. Abdul Carter has been insane for us this season, though. I mean, it looks like he's gone all the way up to an X factor, and it's only his rookie season, so it seems like he has been a really good draft pick, which, I mean, I was definitely expecting. I knew he would be. Oh, dude, we almost got the interception there. That was a really dangerous throw from Trevor Lawrence. I mean, if we can bait him into doing that again. Oh, there's a stop. I was gonna say, if we can bait him into doing that again, I feel like we should be able to come down with it next time. But either way, that stop is gonna bring up a third down. A field goal will still make it a 3-score game, but it's gonna be a little bit less of a deficit, and it looks like we are gonna hold them to 3 unless we can somehow block this. But I feel like blocking field goals really never works out for me. But since we have like no time to work with, I'm gonna go for a few shots downfield, and hopefully we can get like a quick score. I'm gonna see if we can get Hill open here. We don't even have time to get the ball off, and it's gonna be intercepted since we got hit. So that should pretty much take away all of our chances. So it looks like our O-line strikes again, and things just got even worse for us after that. I mean, we're gonna get obliterated 31-7, so that is gonna end our season. It is what it is, though, man. I mean, honestly, I'm just happy that we were able to end Josh Allen's season. But anyways, it looks like this year Joe Burrow is gonna be winning MVP, and after beating us, it looks like the Jaguars actually ended up winning the Super Bowl with a dub against the Packers. But anyways, that's gonna bring us to another offseason, and I didn't have a whole lot of money to work with, so we lost a few players. Holland and Fuller were definitely the biggest ones, but after losing them, I did gain some money to work with, so I was able to get Wyatt Teller to help out the O-line. I mean, I feel like having a good O-line is very crucial for this offense's success. So after that, I sent a 2nd-round pick to the Chicago Bears for Wright, and after that, I was also able to make a trade with the Saints for McCoy, and after that, I made a trade with the Rams for Kobe Turner. And looking at it right now, I feel like we kind of finessed them, but this is what the offense looks like after all of the upgrades. Tyreek Hill is starting to regress, which is a little bit alarming for us, but it was bound to happen at some point. On the other hand, though, I mean, this defense is still pretty good, but they have taken a little bit of a hit. But after losing all of the players on the defense, it looks like we did fall off a little bit, because we're gonna go 10-7, which does barely sneak us into the playoffs. And in the wild card round, it looks like we have a rematch against the Buffalo Bills. And so far, it looks like Josh Allen did not forget about us beating him last season, because he's up 14-7 right now. I mean, if we can score here, obviously that ties things up, but my point is he's playing a lot better. I mean, they do also have home team advantage this time, which is probably also going to play a factor in this game. I'm going to try and go for a bit of a shot right here, though. If Waddle can get some separation, that should be a first down, and it looks like he's going to be able to get there. That's going to be a huge pickup. So that's going to bring the ball all the way to the 17-yard line. I'm hoping that Hill can get open here, but if not, I might just dump it off to the tight end, who got hit off of his route that was almost intercepted. That was actually terrible. I am done throwing to that guy. I'm just going to try and dump it off to Hill this time, and hopefully he can get away. That's going to be close, but I think he should. Oh, that's going to be a touchdown. Hold on, we're in. So it looks like Tyreek Hill is going to tie this game up at 14 apiece. You already know how Josh Allen works, though. I mean, this game is far from being over, and it looks like he does have a chance to take the lead back in the third quarter, because the Bills are really threatening to score. That was almost an interception, but since we were a bit late getting to the ball there, that is going to make it 2nd and 1, so they only need 1 yard for the first down, and it looks like they've got Cook. So at this point, I mean, a field goal is pretty much a gimme. I just gotta hope that we can somehow hold them to that, because if we hold them to 3, we're gonna have a chance to take the lead if we can go downfield and score score a touchdown, but it's really starting to look like the Bills are going to get in for a score here. Unless we get another stop here, because that is going to bring up a third down, but nobody's on Samuel. So I guess that's going to give the lead back to Buffalo. And after that, it looks like we were not able to score again. So Josh Allen's going to get his revenge this season because he's going to send us home. And now we only have one more season to get the job done. So I got to make sure that we load this team up as much as possible. But anyways, to end off year number 3, it looks like Lamar Jackson's going to be taking home MVP. And in the Super Bowl, it looks like the Falcons ended up beating the Colts. But anyways, that's going to bring us to the final offseason of the video, and we are going to be losing a few players in free agency, but the only one that's really worth noting is Jordan Brooks. And it looks like we were able to have a pretty solid free agency. I mean, nothing too crazy, but I was able to get Charvarius Ward and Kenny Moore to help out Jalen Ramsey on the defense. But anyways, as I said, this is going to be our final season to get the job done, so I got to make sure that I load this team up as much as I possibly can. And the first trade that I made was for Edmonds, and after that I also made a trade with the Jaguars for Trayvon Walker, and I gave them Bradley Chubb, which is going to free up a whole lot of cap space for us. And it was a really expensive trade because it cost me 2 first-round picks, but I was able to get Max Crosby and Morig from the Raiders. And after that, I made one final big trade, which pretty much cost me the rest of our draft picks, but we're going to get Slater and Henley from the Chargers. But anyways, after all of the upgrades, this is what our offense looks like heading into the final season. I mean, everything looks pretty solid other than the tight end position. And on the other hand, I feel like we've honestly built one of the best defenses in the NFL. These guys are clearly capable of carrying us to a Super Bowl. And with that absolutely loaded defense that we had, it looks like we were able to have our best season yet, because we're going to go 15-2 to win the division and get the #1 seed in the playoffs. And to start off the postseason, we have another rematch against the Buffalo Bills. And up to this point, it looks like we've been in control. I mean, Josh Allen has not been able to score any points on their defense, and our offense has done pretty good as well. So we're up 10-0 right now, but I feel like if we get the job done this season, the main reason for that is going to be the defense. I mean, this defense has been insane so far. But anyways, since we picked up the first down there, I'm going to try and go for a bit of a shot here. If Tyreek Hill can get open, that would be great, but it looks like nobody's going to be on Waddle. And Waddle is the better receiver on this team now because Tyreek Hill has been aging rapidly. I mean, he's still solid, but he's gone all the way down to like an 85 overall. And he also ended up losing his X factor, as you already saw. That's going to be a touchdown from Waddle, though. I was not expecting that juke to be that nasty, but that is going to extend our lead. And after that, Josh Allen never recovered. I mean, he did score a touchdown, but we're still going to sneak out of here with a 10-point win, which will send us to the AFC Championship game. It looks like things are not going to be getting any easier for us, though, because now we have to go up against Patrick Mahomes. And it looks like we do have a 7-3 lead right now, but Kansas City has the ball, and that almost gets them into field goal range. So I'm hoping that our defense can back them up a little bit. I mean, it would be a really long field goal from here. So as long as we don't allow any more yardage, we might be able to hold them out, but I feel like they're bound to get something. It was terrible defense. That's going to be a big play from Worthy. He totally broke my ankles there. I thought he was going to cut the other direction, and then he didn't. I mean, if he does score a touchdown here, there's a pretty solid chance that he brings that lead into the half. And I think they do start the second half off with the ball, so I got to try to prevent that. I mean, that stop right there is going to bring up a third down. So if we can do that one more time, we should be good. We're going to get the interception, actually. So they're not going to be putting any points on the board. And after that interception, we did have a bit of time to work with, but we weren't able to put any more points on the board. But we're back out here in the third quarter now, and as you can see, we're up by 3 points. So if we can score a touchdown here, that will make it a 2-score game, which would be great, but it won't put the thing away yet. I mean, Mahomes is still gonna have a lot of time to work with. That's a fumble. Hold on, I think we got it back. I didn't think we were gonna get ran up on that quickly, but that almost gave Mahomes a chance to take the lead. But thankfully we got it back, so Oh yeah, that's gonna be almost a first down from Achan, so I should be good to just keep it on the ground for another play. We only need 2 yards this time, but if it gets shut down, I'll probably end up going for it on the 4th down. We don't need to though, because he's gonna pick up the first. So 15 yards to go and we're in for the touchdown. I'm gonna run a slant to see if we can get Waddle open. It looks like he's gonna be there for the score. So that is gonna give us a 2-score lead, which I'm hoping will last, but it all depends on how our defense plays from here on out. And it looks like Mahomes did score again, but we're still gonna win this game by 2 points. So that will send this team to the Super Bowl. But anyways, to end off the final season of the video, it looks like Patrick Mahomes is gonna be winning MVP. And in the Super Bowl, it looks like we're gonna be going up against the Lions. Since this game's in Miami, we got some crazy home team advantage, but it looks like the Lions have kept things pretty close up to this point. We need that for the first down. It looks like we've got it. I'm just gonna keep it on the ground with Achan here though, and hopefully we can get some blocks, but we're not going to. So that's gonna be a pretty short gain from him. We only got 2 yards, so I'm gonna put it back in the air this time. I probably could have gone for Waddle there, but I'll just keep it on the ground, which is still gonna work out pretty well. I mean, that's gonna bring it to the 48-yard line, so we only need 2 yards for the first now, and Waddle should have that. It's gonna be intercepted. That was a bad pick to throw, because now the Lions are gonna have really good field position to try to take the lead, and they got the ball all the way down to the 1-yard line. So our only hope of stopping them is if we can somehow get a turnover, or I mean, I guess we could stop them 3 times in a row, but I really don't think that's gonna happen, because they are definitely gonna go for it on 4th down if this doesn't work. But Gibbs is in for the score, so that obviously gave the Lions a 1-point lead. But after that, we were able to get ourselves into scoring position. So if we can even kick a field goal, that is gonna put us back on top. I gotta make sure that we don't throw any more interceptions, because that would really hurt us right now. That should be a first down easily. I feel like the slant route with Waddle has been working really well today, so I'm gonna go back to it and hopefully he can get open again. I think the last time oh, no way. There is no way that we're gonna fumble it right here. I mean, Tua, what are you doing, man? That is one we definitely should have held on to. And after that, the Lions scored again. So we're down 17-9 right now, and it's currently 4th and 4. So if we can't get this, the game is over, and that is pretty much gonna end it. I mean, considering how well we played this season, I definitely wasn't expecting to choke in the Super Bowl, but it looks like that's what's gonna be happening. I mean, it was against the Lions, who did have an absolutely loaded roster, but still, man, that loss definitely hurts, especially considering that that's going to end the video off. So it looks like Miami is not going to be able to win a Super Bowl today. I mean, at least we made it to the Super Bowl, but either way, I guess this was a fail for the Dolphins. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It'd really help out the channel. And if you have any video ideas, feel free to drop them down below. I'll try to get to as many of them as I can. And while you're down there, make sure you check out my socials. I got everything linked in my description below. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.